Little Prelude in C by Bach on page 24. Okay, so in this tune, before you begin, you know you've played some music by Bach before, and you know that he loves to take melodies and bounce them off between both hands. So you might want to look at that prior to actually playing it. In your analysis, look and see if there's any contrapuntal activity going on when you analyze it. Definitely feel the meter and tap the rhythms. It's not necessary to play the mordents that are way down here on that third phrase. You can delete those if you want to. Please pause. Okay, a couple things that we need to look at prior to you actually playing the piece. Now, I mentioned the counterpoint activity, and you'll notice in that first phrase, he's got the melodic content starting in the right hand. Notice how he outlines first in measure 1, that's C7, moving on to measure 2 to an F chord. Measure 3 has the G7, and then he progresses very nicely to a C chord in measure 4. But then the left hand instantly takes off, and it has the theme with the C chord. The next measure, measure 5, you've got a D chord with that F sharp. You should be thinking, I must be modulating. If I've got an F sharp now in the key signature, I'm probably going to the key of G, possibly E minor, but I don't see any D sharps. And there, up there in the right hand, you see the D7 chunked up. Okay, moving on to the next measure of the second line, there is your tonic G chord. Now your left hand again has the melodic subject material, but it's an A minor chord, an A7. And then it progresses to a D chord, you can see with the F sharp in that last measure of the second phrase. From here, with this D7, the C in the right hand, again, chunk that right hand, this progresses to G. That third phrase, you have your left hand octaves, be aware of that, and again, you can delete the mordent, it's not necessary. Notice how he starts with a G7, moves to the C, then goes up into, this is a D7, I know there's no D there, but it really is a D7, and then progresses to the G chord in the fourth bar on this line, in this phrase. So you've got all of G major in the third phrase. That left hand takes over that theme again with their G7, but then in the last line, we're on our last phrase, you notice that both hands have subject material. Be careful when you're working on this. It's both hands have a C7, which progresses to this F pattern in the second bar of this last phrase, and then slows down in the last two measures to finish the piece. So analyze these chords, get the feel for each of the chords of the melodic material in your hands before you actually begin so that it won't come as a shock.